We're here with Kayla and George.
Where's live?
You can't see them
Move it
yet.
over, sorry.
Move what?
But
Oh,
we log
right
on
there?
to-
The live dashboard?
Yeah, that's good. Gotta go back to the Facebook.
Actually, I don't know where the live is. It's
It
just
should be in the
Instagram
corner.
live.
Go down.
Oh, we're on DIMELO Radio live, right?
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now?
yeah. I should make this bigger real quick. So I'll be able to see it. Right here.
Go live? Okay.
So if you log on to Facebook and you log on to DIMELO Radio Show, you can see this live on Facebook.
Yeah.
Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Weekly Dose. Hey.
Is this
I'm
starting? Did
I
we
mean,
start?
yeah, we've already been recording for
Okay, that
like
works.
almost a minute.
That's
so
cool. We can
sorry
cut
for the
that
intro.
out from the beginning.
Can we though?
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. Well,
Process of learning.
there we go. All right. Hey guys, welcome back. I just I'm feeling really nervous right now because I'm actually kind of excited about the topic that we're talking about today. But before we get into that, I want to do a recap
Yes.
from last episode that we did.
And before we get into all of that, Trina got red lipstick on right now.
Shut up. So you're making me sound like
Just
a Holland.
saying. No. Okay, it's like a plum. Is
that
red and plum?
We're ridiculous. So anyways, to recap from last week's episode, my B for being too close to the mic. I'm still trying to figure out how close to be, how not close to be, and all that stuff. Whoa, that's delayed. So delayed.
Yeah, we have a screen on one of our
We have a
other
lot of screens up here,
Yeah.
so my ADD is kicking in real big. But yeah, so I just wanted to say my B for being too close to the mic. My pronunciations of the P's and my B's are real aggressive. AGGRESSIVE. I was never a cheerleader. I just happened to know that one. I don't know. What we also want to do is coach shout outs because we had talked about our little basketball thing quickly as far
Yes.
as like how we knew each other as best friends. And we also wanted to, so we shouted out Coach Foster.
Yes.
We want to shout out Coach Faye.
Yes.
And Coach
Mulaney.
Is it Mulaney
Mr. Mulaney.
or is it Mulvaney?
No, it's Mulaney with L's.
Was there ever a Mulvaney in
Nope.
high school?
I don't know. If I did, no.
I might have drank that memory away back when I was drinking because I don't drink anymore. We talked about that.
I do. I got my glass of wine in front of me.
Yes,
and
you
for those
do.
of you who are watching.
Oh, sorry. Lo siento. Is that how you say sorry? Is that how you say
Milagro.
it?
It's called Milagro.
I hate you so much. And also wanted to say my B for all the that's fine and legit.
Yeah, I say legit a lot.
That's fine. Try to figure out something else to say. But anyways, we're rambling. But
Fast forwarding.
Fast forwarding to, we wanted to talk about the show we went to
Yes.
a couple weeks ago. We went and saw Amanda Seales.
Must see. So originally, the only time that I've ever seen Amanda Seales, which I didn't even know what her acting name was on Insecure. I was just kind of roaming through things to watch, and I watched this thing. I just clicked on Insecure, and it was this show on HBO that was me. I was like, all of these characters are all me at one point in my life. And I had told Katrina, I'm like, Trina, hey, have you ever seen Insecure? And she's like, oh my God, there's this girl named Amanda Seales on there. And I'm like, well, which one is she? And she's like, she's a comedian and she has her own podcast. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I can't picture her as a comedian because she plays like this pregnant kind of bougie character on this on Insecure.
Yeah.
And then Trina made me add her as a friend on Instagram,
Sure
and I love her. Click. So I went to her show, not knowing much about her background and all of that stuff, but I watched a lot of her on Instagram. And after going to her show, I was definitely inspired. It's not only a comedy show, she definitely educated. What? She educates her crowd.
We call it edutainment.
Okay, see? That's what I was trying to say. But that's where it went. So.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and also, so she's on tour right now it's called I Be Knowin'. She's freaking hilarious.
She's
I almost cussed and I caught it. I'm so proud of myself. So,
it's okay to fucking cuss. It's fine.
Yeah, we're getting there. So, she had at one of her shows, all of the black men in the audience come on stage and talk about how much they love black women. And I thought that was so amazing that she did that because A, she didn't have to.
No.
And B, she gave a platform to men, specifically black men, who don't always have that platform to express their love
Or even-
for women in general
even when-
in a positive way. Because that,
When I feel like people give platforms, when giving a platform to like, you know, the black population, although I am not externally black, I mean,
we're still going to figure this out.
right, ancestry.com. But
Promo.
my dad is dark as hell.
Wait out there, don't get on.
And oh my god, yeah,
Such an
he
asshole.
speaks really
The
bad
broken English, Spanish.
But it portrays to a minority population, or a population that is ignored because we're of color, because we don't speak the language, and
Quote,
it definitely
unquote.
it hits home.
Sure.
And that was amazing because people need to know,
right.
especially us minorities who work our asses off, who can't afford nannies, who do everything, and you know, who maintain the household, whether it's working, whether it's staying home and figuring it out while, you know, our men go out there and work and essentially are at risk in some point
Right.
of you know, the racial issue.
Right. And this is kind of a segue into what we wanted to talk about this episode, which is relationships. Ooh,
There you go. We are no experts at this. All I know is I can speak from experience and learning what my friends went through, what my family's gone through, and just kind of give back what we've learned from all of these things. And we had posted something on our Instagram.
I'm so
page.
distracted right now.
We get if we
Sorry.
can turn the camera right, we can.
I
see
know,
Victor.
right? Just
He's hooking us up.
hey, there's a lot going on here, and I can't focus.
Do you want to restart?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I totally want to restart. I can't do this.
All right.
I'm already feeling.
That's okay. We're live here, so they can see all.
They
of the
can see
edits.
all of that. That's fine. It's just here. We need to not.
What happened?
What had happened was, what's going on?
Just low. You guys talk the volume is too low.
Oh. Because I'm trying to be mindful, because last week I was like all up in the mic, and it's obnoxious. But it's obnoxious.
Well, yeah, when people listen to it on their radios in their car, it sounds really loud.
It's really loud. Yeah.
You guys are talking far and low. Yeah, like you're talking far. Like when we're watching it over there, you're like, just do this.
No way.
Yeah, you sound like you're scared and shit to talk.
I'm not. I ain't never scared.
I am. I'm scared. I'll be the first
I don't
one to
even
tell you
watch
I'm
scary
scared
movies.
because
Umberto, make sure they record it on Audacity. Okay, so you guys going to start so you can record. And press spray on the butt.
Yeah, we're just gonna start all over again.
we're starting all over again.
Yeah.
It was a warm up.
You
We're
guys
starting.
are you guys are live, so enjoy it.
Oh, still live. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, no, but I want to redo
Rewind
that.
selector.
I want to redo that.
No, we can read
Yeah, I want. Yeah.
our podcast.
Yeah, the podcast.
voice. I want to rewind.
Yeah,
that.
the podcast.
Because if you restart, we're gonna have to report the settings from Facebook.
No. That's
We're
fine.
gonna
We're
stay
just.
live on Facebook.
Yeah, that's fine.
The recording
The
video.
voice.
Yes,
The voice.
the voice. So we want to hit.
Oh, the voice is right here. Okay, let me put a stop right there.
Yeah, we're just gonna do it all over again.
Hit play on the butt.
Hey, Wanda.
So what about that?
Who's the niece?
Cannot. It says cannot publish stream. What's that?
It's because of the Facebook.
Oh, that's
Okay. Can we hit record on that and just like take that off so we can do it over again?
fine. It's okay. I got some.
I might take it. Give me that bottle.
There you go. I know you're like a little anxious.
That anxiety's a bitch, man.
It's okay.
Is
We'll
it-
do
wait.
it- and you know what? I can repronounce.
You guys are
Oh.
doing great.
You don't.
Huh? That's what I need.
Kevin.
Kevin. My mom's like, Kevin. Kevin. Oh, I just called my.
We-
Press play on the Audacity, it's gonna record.
Okay.
Record.
Okay,
There we go.
Ready?
ready. Hi guys, welcome back to the Weekly Dose. Hey, there's two of us here. Woo woo.
Uno, dos, uno, dos.
Uno, dos. Just wanted to start this week's episode with kind of a recap from the last episode that we did.
Yes, we missed some things.
We did, and want to be transparent, and when we get feedback from people, we want to, honor that in a
Exactly.
sense of like, hey, this is what we're doing, and this is what we meant to say, but maybe we're in the moment and
Right.
didn't say
Oh,
it.
here's
Or-
the thing. Like when you're talking to somebody, or even when you're arguing with somebody, you're like, "Damn, I should have said this," or "I didn't think of that." And
Right.
here is our damn. This is what I'm gonna say now. What I should have said, and
So with that being said, I wanted to say my B for being so close to the mic last week. It feels loud.
that's okay. They fixed it. We'll
They
figure it
did.
out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. It's fine. And also, that's fine. Apologize for that, because that's fine. Apparently, it's a part of my rhetoric now. Didn't even know it, but I want to shout out my
It's a
sister, because she's the
calming
one that,
mechanism.
apparently so, along with the ums and the uhs. But, again. And we also wanted to shout out our coaches, all of them from high school, because
Yes.
apparently we didn't, and we want to rectify that, if you will.
Right.
So we shouted out Coach Foster, woo woo,
How you doing?
and then Coach Faye,
And Mr. Mulaney.
Coach Mr. Because he was kind of a coach. He was a
We
coach.
used
He was
to
a
joke
coach.
and call him the water boy.
Oh my God, that's so.
But you
mean.
know what? No, he was clutch to what we needed.
So mad at you.
But
So yeah, and also wanted to, because the last episode we had talked about how we were excited about going to see Amanda Seales. So we saw her.
we did.
It's kind of amazing. And by kind of, I mean, I was fangirling so hard.
Well, here's the thing. The backstory on Amanda Seales for me was I watched this show kind of scrambling through Netflix and Hulu and all of the fun.
All the things that
movie
are not
things.
cable.
Yeah. Shout out to not Comcast.
Wow, just put them on blast.
They're
It's all
too
right.
expensive,
It's all right.
sorry.
Yeah, no, I know. My bank account cries
my-
every month.
the
Wait,
way
my
my
bank account is set up.
No, but I ended up picking Insecure on HBO and watched it, and I feel like I can relate to every character in that show, including Amanda Seales, which I didn't know was Amanda Seales at the time or didn't recognize her as a comedian until Katrina was like, "Oh," and I just called you Katrina. So Trina was like,
That was
"You should
weird.
follow her on Instagram." It was really weird, and so I followed her, and she created this platform of like an educated woman that. Just like all comedians, they're super educated. And then they
Edutainment, if you will. Edutainment. That's
so
a
she
mouthful.
dragged me to the show,
I did.
and the show, I was blown away. She's not only does she install knowledge on things that you didn't know, like there was a lot of things that I didn't realize, which was what stood out for me most in that comedy show was when she was talking about how back in the day when, you know, colored people or minority people would be with their partner and we didn't make enough money that we would get
Right.
housing, right? So we're on housing, and in housing, your man can't live with you
Right.
if you have housing.
Right.
So there's that stigma of, oh, they're broke and they can't, you know, he's not taking care of his family and
All
back
of
and
that.
forth.
Mhm.
So that was a lot. But fast forwarding to her most recent show,
Where she brought up all of the black men in the show on stage and passed the mic around to each and every one of them, asking them what they love about black women. And I thought that was so, she's just so, I'm fangirling right now.
and she's super pretty.
So first of all, when we were there, I was screaming.
all.
First of all, she was, when she came out on stage, I was, again, fangirling super, super hard. And you were giggling at me. I heard you giggling. And I was like, she hadn't said a joke yet. What's so funny? And you were like, you were fangirling so hard right now. And then you looked on stage and you looked at her and you were like, oh my God, Trina, she's you. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, look what she's wearing. She had a zip up hoodie, these funky pattern leggings, and
some
black
Converse.
Chucks. I was like, you're my soulmate.
She legit did.
I
And she
literally
sat
would-
there, and it wasn't a show. It was kind of like she was
It was just a
sitting there. She was told us
conversation.
a
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was
But we say that to say, it's like an awkward, not necessarily awkward, but we're segueing into the topic of this week's weekly dose.
it's a lot to do.
It is. It's relationships 104, because we're not doing 101, because 101's for beginner type shit, and we're beyond that.
70,000 for me.
170,000. Yeah, you're
Something
not good
Macho
at
would
math.
Mom, can I have $15 million? Sure.
No, yeah, sure. Here's 5. Go away.
I can't buy V-Bucks with $5 fucking dollars.
But what we wanted to do is talk about relationships, and we put it out. Yeah, we put it out on all the social mediums, and we got some pretty good feedback. So we're gonna try to hit
First
some
of all,
that.
nobody gave me feedback, so I'm a little offended. Nobody messaged me. Maybe I just had some really bad relationships. That's what, like, we're not asking her shit, but.
But my homies, I had like 7 or 8 people, which was, for me, that was a lot. Because usually I put stuff out there and it's like cricket. So thanks to those that responded. Appreciate you.
And
but
my friends know why they don't ask me for love advice. So we have in the studio, George is in the studio and Kayla's in the studio.
Which we will bring it.
Oh my God, and I asked her 4 times before
what her name was.
Started. I'm bad with names,
yeah,
right?
we can see that.
Oh, shit. And the 4 glasses of wine during my band rehearsal.
Oh my gosh. So swinging back around.
Sorry.
It's all right. So what we wanted to talk about in regards to relationships, we have a couple of things. But first we want to talk about dating after 30. That was a mic drop.
So for me, it's a little different. And it could be a double thing, whether it's dating after 30, because if I was 30 with no kids, then dating would essentially be looking for a partner that wants kids.
Sure.
But now that I'm 34-ish.
We told the people, we're going to tell the people our age.
I don't care at this point.
It's cool.
Listen. But I now that I have a 5-year-old, and I mean, I would love more kids, maybe like 1 more, if we can afford a nanny. But
the way my bank account is set up,
man, listen,
real talk.
But I feel like there's dating in your 30s without a kid and dating in your 30s with a kid. Mm-hmm. It's still a lot, because now you're pressured as a woman without kids to find a partner that wants kids and not try to rush it and not try to bring it up to make them feel pressured to have kids. Right. But as your woman, your biological clock is ticking, as in when you're 40, you're high risk. Not all of us are J-Lo. Like, we
Do you know that's high risk actually at 35? Yeah. It's considered high risk at 35 is when all of your shit falls
in like 2 weeks.
Oh my God.
Shit.
I'm so mad at you.
I'm not trying to love
you. Oh boy. So on the other side of the spectrum, from where I sit at.
Yes. Team Rainbow.
Yes. The resident rainbow.
Resident rainbow.
Hi. Dating after 30 is different than it is in your 20s. Because in your 20s, especially if you're of the rainbow persuasion, you're just trying to figure shit out. You're trying to find your footing and trying to be in a space where you feel safe to explore these opportunities. Because that's a thing. Yeah. And those are not easy things to come by when you're of the rainbow persuasion. So it makes it...
Constantly.
All the time. I mean, as if it wasn't bad enough that we're females, but then you add the rainbow aspect to it. And then for those of us who are brown on top of that, I'm just going to check a box at the bottom that says other. Because that's where we're at. But,
not Hispanic,
not Hispanic. It's like 2 races that are not Hispanic. It's like, what is that? But yeah, so it's different after 30. And it puts a lot of things in perspective, because I feel like when you hit 30, shit changes, or at least it should change. For some, it doesn't, and that's okay, because everyone's timeline is different. But when you're in a situation where you're like, hey, let's kind of figure this out. How are we going to be together? How are we going to do this? How are we going to, do we want kids? Do we want pets? Do we want, there's so many decisions to make.
When you start your relationship, you can't necessarily just drop that bag in front of your partner and be like, oh, these are all the things that I want.
But why not? Oh. And that answers that question. I think we have a reason. No,
if you
why
hear
not?
That was a ding from somewhere.
Hello?
God.
Hello, God. It's me, Margaret. For those who read that book. You didn't read that book. Did you?
Why are you saying my mom's name? How do you know my mom's name?
Oh, my God. Well, because I'm friends with her on Facebook.
So
but
side note, I called my mom the other day, and I never really listened to her voicemail, because whenever I get her voicemail, I get really pissed off, because I'm like, why is she picking up her phone? What's she doing? As a kid, you know how it is.
I get it.
Mom's pick up the phone. You failed me as a parent, right? But she goes, I'm so sorry, Mom. She goes,
That's okay, because I threw my mother under the bus last time. So.
She goes, hi, you reached Margaret. There's an R. Margaret. Your name's Margaret, Mom. The end.
The end. All right. So that wasn't awkward at all. You totally spit in my notebook. Wow.
Mind your business, okay? It's on my side. What lands on my side is my problem.
I'm so mad at you.
My
So
stomach hurts.
I'm glad you're having so much fun. Is there anything else you want to add with dating after 30?
Sorry, Mom.
Lo siento.
Yes, there's a lot to add.
What was different? What's different for you now that is tangible that you're like, oh, this is definitely different now than it was when I was in my 20s?
When I was in my, I've always dated older guys. For the fact that I thought at the time that when you date older, they are
More mature.
a little more mature,
Lies.
which they are more mature than the guys that were my age. And there were also guys that were my age that were mature, but they were probably with people that I knew.
Right.
But I feel like for men, the older they get, the more mature they get, the more experience they get, the more understanding of women. Because we are a hard species to understand. But for women, we're just kind of like, why can't you get it together like we get it together? You know, mentally with, you know,
Right.
like that movie, like, I need you to want to do the dishes. Like, that type of thing.
But nobody wants
I
to
don't ever
do.
want to do dishes.
Nobody wants to do anything
here's
unless they
the
have
thing,
to, and
right?
even then, they still don't want to
But
do
when you have a
it.
partner, right, you're like, okay, I know they're working. I don't want to do the dishes, but I'm going to want to do the dishes so that when you get home, they're not there. So you can cook.
So when you get home from your long ass day at work, you can cook for me because
but there
look,
ain't no
all
dishes. Yeah.
the dishes are clean.
Listen,
For
when
you to go dirty
home
them up again.
with a sink full of dishes and your man's like, oh, are you... My bad.
Oh.
And when your man's like, oh, just like that.
Whoa!
You gotta cook. No, I'm not cooking.
So-
See all the dishes and all the toys in the
Like,
living room?
no.
Yeah, exactly. So,
I think for me, the difference is just understanding who I am and wanting sort of like, I want to know that if you're going to be with me, you're going to rock with me, you're going to have my back in the way that I have yours. I always kind of go back to the whole Virgo theory because I'm obsessed with being a Virgo and all the things
your
Virgo.
mom's a Virgo and your dad's a Virgo and you're in an
And I'm-
entire...
Yeah, it's just, there were a lot of emotions growing up. So I can just throw that out there. But I think now it's different because before when you're trying to like discover who you are and figure out what it is that you want, I think after 30, you kind of know, or at least you're more secure
figure out,
in knowing
right,
what it
you
is
don't
that
want.
you want. That's important.
That's
I think
the
you
key.
know that more than the shit that you actually
Yes.
do want, which I get. But at the same time, you just want someone to have your back in the same way that you do. Like, if you over here calling me, like, venting about your day, that's great, and I'm here to hear that. But at some point, when are you going to hear where I'm at? And it doesn't need to be the same day, but, like, let's recap at the end of the week.
It's
like,
a
hey, what's up?
partnership.
Exactly.
It's
It's
like give and take.
50-50. 50.
So, we have a bunch of sayings like that, 50. And
Yeah.
what we're going to do is we're going to end up posting those sayings on our Instagram so that you guys understand where
And
our jokes
Facebook,
come
because
from.
we have a Facebook now.
We do have a Facebook.
Yes,
That's
we do.
Katrina Fott. What? Trina.
What Katrina? Oh, you call me Katrina again.
And I said Fott.
Fott.
Katrina forgot the password.
Oh, I did. Yeah. I mean, we on live now.
We
but-
are. We are on DIMELO radio show.
Oh,
live.
Chuddy's watching. Hi, Chuddy.
Hi, chakalaka.
Okay, so side note. So, do you want to continue talking about this, or do you want to move on to the next?
So here's the thing. So we want your take on dating in your 30s. So if you can leave us messages or DMs and let us know, so we can, when we do our recap, we can kind of talk about this briefly in our next
Yeah,
episode.
we're gonna definitely do another like part 2
Yeah,
to this because it's
relationships-
just too much to just talk about on one
It's like
episode.
10 episodes, but we're not doing
No,
that.
we're not doing 10. We're doing
There's
2.
other shit that I want to talk about.
There's a lot of shit we want to talk
Just
about.
saying.
You're real close to the mic. Your lips just touched the mic, and I'm actually grossed
My
out
lips
for you.
always...
I'm
Listen,
so grossed out for
I
you.
never get grossed out. Here's why. Even when I sing, my lips touch the mic, and I always have red lipstick on, so I get red all over my mouth.
So you have a red
like
mustache.
Selena, I call it the Selena look because whenever Selena
Selena.
sang, she had red all over her microphone, red all over her lips, and I ain't caught herpes yet, so we good.
Okay, well, then there's that. So we're going to check. check just check dating off 30.
Maybe I'll bring wipes the next time.
Oh my gosh, I can't with you.
Now I'm scared.
So,
I just jinxed it myself.
you jinx. Oh my god, that's gonna be really loud. You are actually. This isn't even wood.
It is.
It's probably like linoleum or something. You snorted.
There's a saying, right?
It's hot in here.
Alicia, one of my really close friends and my niece's aunt.
We're not gonna drop names.
This is funny. It's not a relationship
No,
issue.
I understand that.
This is her saying, though. I have to say it.
All right.
She told somebody once.
Okay. Once.
You
A
or
whole
a lot
time.
of times.
A whole time.
She
One
said
time.
you think you're slicker than cat shit on a linoleum floor. Let that shit settle in your brain. I love you, Ali. You ever see cat shit on a linoleum floor?
No,
That's just
I can't say that.
everywhere.
I can't say that I have.
You don't like that cats?
I'm allergic. Hello. But we digress.
Well,
A lot.
There's a
how you
YouTube
go
story.
how you go from relationships to cat shit?
Quick. Real quick. I've been in a lot of cat shit relationships, all right?
So that easily moves us on to the next part of the topic that we're talking about. I can't. So, let's take a deep breath.
Okay.
Ooh.
Next subject.
The differences and maybe similarities between you being a hetero and me not being one.
Oh, we skipped that one?
No, we're going to go
Okay.
to that one.
Sorry.
But
So,
no, it's okay.
I was actually talking about this earlier with Trina. And
Oh, you say Trina?
I did. I didn't say
Katrina.
Katrina. I don't know why.
It's,
don't know
I
where
mean,
the hell
both
that
of them
came
are
from.
my names, so
They
it's
are,
fine.
but it's weird. It's like me saying my own name,
Yeah.
Leslie. Whatever. That's weird.
So many things. I think we should limit it to 2 glasses.
Listen, I have shit to do before here.
I listen. You've been up and going for a really long time today, and I understand. So it's all right.
I have something to say about
Okay.
this thing.
Yes, you do. So
Okay.
say it.
So a while back, I read this book called The Female Brain. And essentially when women are born, or when a female is born, they have natural motherly instincts. Where did we write that down? I wrote that down in my book. Okay,
But
so they have
I remember the phrase.
natural nurturing
By nature.
by nature. Yeah, so we are naturally nurturing by nature. So when...
Woo, get your pen. Write that out.
Write that down, write that down,
Write
George.
that down. Write that down.
So when kids are born, females specifically, they sense all of the senses. Like you can be the best mom in the world, but if something is off, your kid is gonna know. Because,
Right.
or your girl kid is gonna know. Because
Especially, yeah.
she can feel it. Just like when you're in a same-sex relationship, you both feel that. But when you're in a male-female relationship, they're like, what
Why
the
are
hell's
you
wrong with
tripping?
you?
Why
Yeah.
are you tripping?
Why are you this?
Why are you like this?
Yeah,
Why are you
and
like
it's
that?
like, you don't
But
get it.
yeah, and in some cases, you come across those relationships, especially with 2 females, where there's kind of that male female energy in there because that's all we grew up knowing. So
Right,
we try
right.
to assume the role that we think we fit closest to.
But they know.
They all know.
Because as a woman, and even as a man, you guys can readily identify with women being like, well, there's something wrong with you. I can't explain it, but I know there's something wrong with you.
Right.
Because we know. That's
Right.
our sixth sense.
Yeah.
Because we're special.
How
How you doing? So that, I feel
So
like
it's true.
that's a big difference in same-sex and different sex relationships. So that can cause either a lot of chaos or a lot of understanding.
Right.
You're gonna have a lot of kumbaya moments, or a lot of like not.
Right.
If you have like a really dominant female that just
She just has that dominant energy.
right,
And
or
it's-
just one that doesn't care how you feel, and that's when you gotta be like,
Hello.
you think you're slicker than cat shit on the linoleum
I
floor.
hate you so much right now. Just it literally slides
Slide it
everywhere.
up. And when it's that messy, you gotta go.
Wow. There's just I have so many visuals in my head that I can't unsee now.
I'm gonna YouTube
Please
that and
don't.
see if
Please
that's
don't
a
do it.
video.
Don't do it. So,
Ali, I love you.
what? You're out of control. So
I didn't make up.
I
that saying.
know you didn't, but you brought it into this conversation, so
funny
now
as-
you own it.
So when people think they slick, that's what you gotta say.
You think you slicker than cat shit on the linoleum floor.
It's like a long say.
It is too, because I totally felt myself stumble over it. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Like, next
Anyway,
subject.
next up, so we're gonna check that one off. I'm so bad at you. So what we wanted to do, okay, cool. Again, all the distractions, all the screens, all of the things. But we also wanted to get into how social media affects relationships. Ready and go.
Big time.
Get laid.
Big
time. Where's that from? Is that from Family
It's
Guy?
from it's Stewie.
Stewie.
And he goes to get laid
Laid
big
big
time.
time.
And they
We're
say
ridiculous.
that all the time. But
We
not,
used to say it all the time. We haven't said.
it's not essentially to get laid big time, which would be great. But like, I'm not saying that's not a good thing, but we don't use it in that context
Right.
all of the time.
all of the time.
But I feel like social media and relationships, it could go either way. You have, from my experience, you have people that say that they're not social media friendly, only to find out it's because they have multiple partners that would find out about you
Right.
by posting, because that's the whole, you know, it does full circle. You post a picture,
Right.
somebody's gonna find out,
Mm-hmm.
it comes back, and then boom, it's an argument, and there you go. And then there's other ones that, so for me, like, when I look at Facebook and I see people in a relationship and y'all are posting like when you met, where you're going, how much you're in love, and then boom, you're done. I need to know what happened. I was part of that relationship. It's not fair. It's not funny.
I mean, it's kind of funny.
It is.
It's really funny, actually.
But like, you posted the whole thing on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or qué sé yo, all of the places.
All of the places, and then boom, it's gone. Like,
It's
what
like
do you do with
reading
that?
a book with no ending. ¿Qué pasó?
Oh, yo no sé.
Qué milagro.
Sorry, Mom. Okay, love you. Bye. But yeah, I think social media has added an interesting element into relationships, because it's a way where you can express how you feel to the masses, of letting everyone know, yes, I'm happy, I'm in this relationship, life is great, la la la. Right. And then it can become a problem when you're in certain situations where, you know, you're walking into someone's life that's already established with their friends and with their family, and then you see how they post about other things. What?
Danielle, I got you. I want to know the whole story.
We're getting there.
Who did it? Why? Let's go get them. Just kidding. I don't want to go get them.
What?
But what happened?
Just escalated.
The relationship.
I know. Oh, well, we're going to get to that. But it's one of those things where I feel like oh gosh, are you going to say something?
No.
Oh, because you took a really deep breath and it made
Well,
me
I
feel
just
some
wanted
kind
to
of way.
explain to the listeners who can't see what we're doing right now is that we have Facebook Live on our phone. I'm sorry, Instagram Live on our phone, and people are sending messages.
Our phone?
And we're both the weekly dose, right?
Yeah, but that's my phone.
It is.
That's
your
my
phone,
whole
but it's
battery that's being
our
used.
Instagram.
Yes, it is.
So we just replied to the people who are responding there. So if you
Okay.
want instant answers, then when next time we go live, we should probably.
We'll let people know that we go live next time. But yeah, I think with the social media piece, it's interesting because you're walking into someone's life that's already established, and you don't want to overstep your boundaries by saying, like, you can't do this, you can't do that. You're a full ass grown adult. You can do whatever you want. However, in being a grown ass adult, there should be an element of empathy and understanding when you're posting something and how that's going to affect your partner, because that's where my brain always goes. Because if I'm gonna say and do something online, my brain goes, how is this going to make said person feel that I'm with? Because I don't want to make them uncomfortable in any ways. It was never reciprocated in the same way, and it got to a point where some shit had to be addressed, and we addressed them, and then it got a little rocky, and then we got over it. But it was just a constant, like, why is this such an issue? Why is this such an issue? Why is this such an issue? And it's just, it all boils down to communication. And just talking about, it is a platform. And it's as great as it can be a pain in the ass at the same time. But I think in the beginning, setting those boundaries and setting that tone, like, hey, this is what I'm expecting. This is what I'm not expecting. And I just would appreciate it if you didn't do this because it makes me feel this way. And if you respect your partner, then you'll do that.
Right.
Or at least adjust it in such a way that you know won't affect them in the way that's making them all rah.
Right.
You know?
Like I've posted people before, and then I'd be like, oh, I posted you. If you don't want me to do that, like, I'll take it down, whatever. And it doesn't have to be an intimate picture. It could be like a group picture. And that's cool. But there's also a thing with, have you ever heard the saying, like, oh, before social media, there was never that many problems in relationships?
Yeah, I've heard that.
Because people never knew what the fuck you were doing.
Right. Right. And your whole business is out there.
Like, now you're here in a profile picture with your boo, and then you have 4 people hitting you up like, that's my boo too.
Right. Because beforehand,
You ain't slick.
like cat shit on the linoleum floor. So mad at you.
Wait, we have an input.
We have input?
Yes.
Wait, how do we
Have input?
input?
Relationships. You want to talk?
So we have Kyla. Is it Kyla?
Put the.
Yes, I got it.
I wasn't.
So we're gonna.
I was like, we have somebody
we
here.
have someone
Yes, I
here.
forgot.
Here she is. Hi, Kyla.
So tell us your thoughts on the whole
Social media when it comes to relationships. What are your thoughts on that? Oh, wait, let's intro you because this is also a podcast, not just going live. So
Right.
let's intro her. Hi, Kyla. Kyla is from the DIMELO radio show.
Right. Who we are a branch of the DIMELO radio show. So
There we go.
We are the weekly dose. The DIMELO radio show is the
Hierarchy. Yes, it's the umbrella, and we're under that umbrella.
Right.
So, hi, Kyla. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. So, yeah, we just want to get your input on what you think social media's impact has been on relationships, whether it's relationships personal to you or that you've seen in your, like, friends or family circle.
I feel like as long as, like you stated, communication is key. If you guys are on the same page,
Right.
you know, if you're not doing anything malicious or being petty.
Right.
And it's huge.
Petty is so huge.
Which causes a lot of tension.
And the reason why
little
there's
bit.
a lot of tension is because people have shit to hide. When you don't have shit to hide, you don't care if you're on social media. Unless you're like a federal agent that's undercover, I feel like you shouldn't have anything to hide. Or unless you have like a complex about your looks, there's something that you feel insecure about as like a person, whether it's a female or a male, then I get that.
Right,
Like,
because some
I don't
people,
like the
some
way I
people
look.
like,
I don't-
yeah,
you
some
know, I
people are
just wanna
really
fix it.
insecure about
Yes.
how they feel about how they're presenting themselves, and we all know that we all present our best selves on social. We're not
Right.
posting like with the eye crispies and the drool on the side first thing in the morning because that's
Not me.
gross. It's not for the gram.
I got all the filters. I'm like, this is me
So many.
sleeping. 17
La la
filters.
la. You're ridiculous.
That's
But,
not
yeah.
cute.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with Atrina stating as long as, like, you know, you're just being cautious and being, you know, aware of everyone, like, your emotions, basically. Because there's people that fight on social media as well. You know, you guys get in a big fight, everyone knows it now.
Everyone knows it.
Remember when there were phone thugs? Now there's like
Stop
computer
it.
thugs.
Oh my gosh.
Watch
You said
out.
phone
Tro-
thugs.
trolling's a thing, right?
Trolling is the thing. Yeah, it is. That's a rough life. I'm so glad I don't have that life.
I've been through some trolling issues, and it's not fun. I've never been the one to. I've never wanted to be that person that would post something to make somebody feel like shit because I don't want to feel
Right.
like shit.
Yeah.
Right.
But there are a lot of people out there that literally dedicate their things to other people to make them feel
Sure.
inferior to them, and that's not cool. Like, what does that say about you and what you're focused on? Because I'm not focused on that.
Exactly.
Like, my platform, my social media is going to be based on what I'm doing, how I'm doing, what represents me, what makes me happy,
Right.
not about what's disappointing me. It's just the energy that you throw out, and that
Exactly.
you need to change that.
Right.
Like,
Because it gets reciprocated right back.
Yes, it
right,
does.
Right. And there's
Yes, it
sometimes
does.
that, you know, you get to a point where you're like, I'm going to say something indirectly. But then you're like, do you really want to do that? Because if you ever look at my whole Instagram, it's never negative in a way. I mean, I have a lot of mommy stuff. I have a lot of, like, band stuff.
Mhm.
And just friend stuff. I have, God bless me with amazing friends. George, he calls me his left nut.
That's
Stop it.
gross.
No, it's true.
He's gonna.
I know, because you mentioned it on the radio show last week,
Yeah.
and that was pretty gross. I didn't know how to handle that because I didn't know. I didn't know.
Don't think.
Don't get snipped.
Don't think about it too much. Have you met me? Because that's all I do.
Virgo.
Virgo.
I actually performed the procedure already.
Like already in my head, like snip. What? Ew. Yeah. Like and then ouch. Yeah. Oh my god. Sorry. But yeah. So you were saying.
So yeah, as long as like you're being considerate of your significant other, then it shouldn't be a problem. But if you're mad, stay off the internet.
Oh
Right.
my God, yeah.
Right.
Stay off. Throw your phone away.
Just walk away.
I
Put
feel
the
like
phone
in
down.
the beginning of any social media, like I remember for Facebook, everything that I felt, said, anything I would post. Like,
Well,
you know
because
when you
now
get
they
the
have.
flashbacks?
Well, yeah, because now they have those memory things where
I'm
they
like,
tell you
who is
what you
that? Why did I
posted,
say that?
and then if you're not dating said person anymore, and that shit pops up in your feed 10 years later, you're like, are you for real right now?
First of
Like,
all,
is
it's
this a
5 o'clock in
thing?
the morning, and I want to see this person's face.
Why are we holding our phone at 5 o'clock in the morning?
Because my alarm goes off, and I have to press stop, and then I'm like, okay, I don't watch
In
the
order to
news,
wake up,
Let
so-
me look at Facebook because Facebook is my news feed.
I think watching the news might be less depressing.
Right.
Reminds you too.
Yeah, yeah, it does.
Instagram's gonna do it.
Yeah,
you
Instagram's doing that too.
remember?
Oh, look what you did. Like, why are you
fucking
telling
know what I
me?
did. We're not friends anymore.
Put that shit in the past and leave it there.
I think it's like, where is all this stuff stored that's reminding you?
Oh, that's a whole. Yeah, that's a
The
that's
feds
a
got it
whole.
all.
Yeah, that's a whole other episode that
It's
we
in
can
the
get
whole room
into.
in the federal office right there.
It's a whole. Oh my gosh, where? Let's reel it back in.
Yeah.
Reel it back.
Maybe you have like a night out of like, say for nothing bad, but just like you get drunk and then you're on your phone taking pictures,
Oh
Snapchat,
man,
or, like,
with your mascara running.
Have you?
You
Now
can't even
here's the $1 million question. Have we drunk text exes?
yes.
No.
George is like,
You're
"Fuck
not on the
that."
mic yet.
Yeah.
We'll get you in a little bit.
Sorry.
So
That's okay.
In the original, like in the beginning,
Mhm.
I don't remember drunk texting people. I probably done it a few times,
Mhm.
but when I drink, I learn to shut everything out because I'm so mad at what is driving me to drink to a point that
Okay.
not now, but
Yeah, that's fair.
in my 20s, I was so mad at what was driving me to drink at that point that I'd just be like, I'm not doing it,
Mhm.
and I wouldn't do it. So I'd wake up happy, but there have been times where I'm like, oh no.
Oh no! Scrolling through
That's
all the
it.
messages that
The
were
meme
sent, you're
that
like,
came
oh
out that
no.
said, the person that texted you last night,
Oh.
she's sober and she doesn't mean it now. You should
Right.
text her when you were drunk.
Right. That's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot.
That is a lot.
It's scary.
But-
And the drunk texting, it happens with like one eye, right? You have one eye open. You're trying to see the light. You guys
No.
feel that? You never?
No, I'm like still in the club, I think. Like, you're trying to figure out what are you doing after. I don't know.
I know my drunk text happens with one eye.
With one eye.
Because you got to see the letters, right? When you have two eyes on it, you see two letters. Two T's.
I thought you're talking about like being like really, really drunk that you have to.
No,
like,
you guys not. Okay,
I
I,
can
never
be
got
the-
that drunk either. Yeah.
Yes.
Say fight about.
Oh, it's Drake. It's Drake. So yeah. So any other points that you want to get across when it comes to the social media? Social media and relationships.
I just think that
They don't go in.
I think they can. There's a balance, but some people
There is a
abuse it.
balance. Go ahead. Okay, we're gonna bring George on.
George got something to say. No, I
George.
feel like
Because we
There's a
definitely need. I
balance.
feel like we need a male perspective on this too. Yeah, for sure.
Just move the camera. I'm fat.
Oh my god, I can't stand you. We want to, because this is a podcast, despite the
yeah.
fact that we're on all the live stuff. But we wanted to
Everywhere.
intro George. Hey George, welcome to the
everybody.
Weeklo
Thank you
Dose.
for
also known
having
as mi primo.
Hello, thank you for
And
having me.
Pipi Dulce.
You know it.
I saw your mom before I came here. She's like, "Tu no vas pa'l show." I'm like, "Sí, ya me voy." I'm like, "Yeah, you know, help me out of my shit, man."
All the time. So let's get a guy's perspective when it comes to social media
So
and
it's
relationships.
Hard. It's hard. Like, you know, I've been in a relationship for 13 years,
and everything.
Shout out to Cassandra.
You know,
Stop name dropping.
it's okay. I do it all the
It's his
time.
wife.
I
Yes, it
know.
is.
Yeah, you didn't say that last time.
Well, because he hasn't given her a ring yet.
It's
Okay.
true.
You know
She
what I mean?
probably said the same thing.
Yeah. I can't with
no,
you.
it's hard, you know, because like most of my stuff is all social media. You know, everything I post,
Right.
from my kids to food to funny shit
Mhm.
to the DIMELO, everything I do, like from the DJing to the radio station, is on social media. So it comes with pros and cons. It comes with like sometimes you have to know when to be like, you know what I mean? The
Right.
devil, not the day Satan, you know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
Because it goes that way, you know what I'm saying? And just some people devious too. Like some people just, like you were talking about earlier, like, you know, they try to go for that, like, you know what I mean? Try to see what they can fish and shit, like, you know what I mean? See what you
Or
got
also
on.
see like what you can get away with.
100%.
Like, yeah, I know this
Yeah.
makes you uncomfortable, but I'm gonna post this anyway because I'm who I am, and even though I might be with you, this
Yeah.
is what I'm gonna do anyway,
post-
just to kind of like rock the boat a little bit,
100%,
and
but
that's
at the
tough.
same time, like anything can get me screwed right away. Like I can like say, I can like just what you post, for example, right? So like say Leslie posts 100 things and I like all 100 of them. You know, if you feel some type of way, like if I'm your boyfriend or a girlfriend, like why do you like Leslie's all 100 posts of Leslie?
What time are you liking these photos?
Usually when I'm taking a shit.
Yeah.
Thanks, George.
Usually when
I knew it. You love me.
reading the newspaper. That's what I said. You know
Oh,
what I mean? But I'm
man.
just being real. But at the same time, it's like one of those things. Like, okay, like, Trina can post something. Like, oh, that's funny. Like, okay, you know what I mean? And like, she posts 50 things. You can like it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But the thing is, like, I feel like the like button, it can be like be understood as a certain thing. Just because I like the picture doesn't mean I want to fuck you. You know what I mean?
Well, because there's a lot of people that do
Do
like
that,
your
yeah.
pictures and
Right.
do
Well,
want to
I
get
agree.
down and dirty.
But I
agree.
also think that there's a difference between the whole liking a picture, because you can like a picture.
Yeah.
Speaking from a photographer perspective,
Definitely.
you can like like the settings, the filters, the ambiance, if you
Okay,
will.
so-
Whoa! Hold on, I got a thought, because if I
Do
you-
it. Go.
Go.
but it becomes different when they start commenting on said photos with either like little heart emojis or like it gets
Hold
to be a
on.
bit much.
If my man is sitting on Instagram, right? First of all, if I have to monitor your Instagram, there's a problem. But
Facts.
if you're sitting on Instagram and you're liking all of these twerking girls with big booties from,
I hear
just-
you.
what are you liking?
Oh,
Right.
So like, I
you're
don't get it. That's what you want?
Like, let's like them together. That's what I'm trying to say.
Listen,
That's all.
I'm not mad about that.
it's a whole other segment.
No,
That
but I'm
might
just
be
saying.
next episode.
No, but like I said, I just feel like it all depends on the people. Like, for example, like if you know what's up, you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, like when I go through Instagram and Facebook, like I told you, when I'm taking a shit on the toilet, I'm just going to like, just showing everybody
He
love.
takes a long
You know-
shit,
you know what I'm
everybody.
saying? Literally. So
Oh
I'm
my
just like,
God.
so like I'm just like, I even like the sponsor things.
Right.
I do too.
You know what I mean? It's
They
just.
got cute
And
stuff.
then they do, like, sometimes, like, I see those on my feed, just, I hit everything, like, and sometimes, like, why you like that? I'm just showing love.
Oh,
like, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Right.
You know what I mean? It's what it is. I'm just showing, you know what I mean? I'm not saying there to be, like,
Right, but do you think because you're doing that, because of the kind of person that you are, being a good dude, you're just showing love
Yeah.
and being supportive rather than
100%, yeah, definitely. You know what I'm saying?
How
'Cause I
many
can
times
work
you
on
slept on the couch?
No, I know. Like, oh shit. You know what I mean? But like, it all depends on the person. Like, you understand? Like,
Right.
You know what I'm
What are
saying?
your
Like,
intentions?
yeah, like, what are your
Right.
intentions? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, for the most part, like, when I do see, like, twerking girls or something, I'd be like, babe, look at her ass. And she's like, God damn, look at that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just, but, like, I have that, that open relationship with her.
Right.
As understanding. Like, I'm not trying
y'all
to
have that
disrespect her.
communication
Yeah, like, you know what I'm
there.
saying?
Wait, here's the story, right?
Oh
When-
God,
before
I'm
I
so
lose my
afraid.
thought.
Right,
Before I lose my
right. She
thought.
does it all the time.
Sorry. I don't wanna
saying,
lose
like,
my
no,
thought.
no, but
Here,
it's just
here's a
one of
pen and
those-
piece of paper. Write it down.
Exactly. It's just one of those things, like you seen that meme with Kevin Durant's, like when your girlfriend points out a big booty, she's the real
She's the
MVP.
keeper, yeah.
It'd be like, hey, look at her ass.
But
Like, oh shit.
Yeah.
2020, girls twerking con tanga in Instagram.
That's what Instagram's full now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Social media
He's
has
not
gone
wrong.
to that point. It-
Right.
No, I posted
Honestly-
a meme the other day
Yeah.
and it said, Instagram has men forgetting what real women look like.
Yeah.
I think social media did that completely.
Yeah, I mean,
Facts.
of
like
course.
going back, and not to backtrack, but like listen to you guys' topic of the relationship thing. saying like dating in your 30s.
Right.
Like I haven't dated in my 30s. I've been married.
Bullshit.
So yeah,
Right.
well I bet, but I'm saying.
But in a technical sense, you're still dating because you guys are
yeah.
growing and figuring
yeah.
out who you are as adults versus
definitely.
who you were when you were in your teens and
100%.
20s. So.
I would say like a lot of people that I have like friends that I have that's single, like guys and girls, and like a lot of things like that I hear from them, and like just a lot of times have changed. Where like I say, social media is a blend.
Right.
Like I remember, like I think we were having this conversation last week when we were talking about how I remember used to have to wait like 6 months just to get like freaking a kiss on the lips, you know what I mean? And like just to get like the home run, you had to wait a year or something. Like some people like, oh my God,
that's old school.
It is old
Yeah,
school.
that's
but
old
that's how
school.
it used to be. But
Right.
that's how the women were back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, like I told you, like a lot of female now because of social media think it's okay to think like a man, but it's not because you, like what I mean by that is like more of like you see how like the Cardi B's and things like that, like they show that, which is cool. That's her and it works for her. That's fine.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it might not work for you.
Right.
Might not work for
Right.
you.
Right.
It might not work for you.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? Like she's in a whole nother level. So if you start acting like that, like we're here. So we
Right,
start
we
acting
broke.
like that.
We can't be acting like
100%. So when like people take that as like, okay, so what are you gonna like? It's like one of those things like can be screwed. Like, oh, she's easy. She's whatever da 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 da. Like
Right.
that's what you get like what they
And
call
that goes
fuck boys.
for-
You know what I mean?
Right, and that
Yeah.
goes for both same-sex relationships and
I think it goes for
heterosexual
everything.
relationships.
Yeah, no,
It goes for
100%.
all relationships.
Like I said, social media has ruined that. Like that's why, like I said before, when you have to like talk to people face to face, you used to have to go out. You know what I mean, and sit there and talk to them. And get to know somebody. Hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. My name is George. Oh, nice to meet you. Like I would love to take
That's
you out.
bullshit. George would never meet that girl like
Never.
that. Nice to meet you. Really, George?
No, it's
Stop.
true. But at the same time now.
You want Hennessy?
That's true. Hey, you thirsty? But no,
I
what I'm
got
saying,
some Henny
but going
in
to that is one of those things where it's now it's like, in order to meet somebody, all you gotta do is slide in a DM, like hi. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like girls post it all the time. Like there's a lot of guys in the DMs still waving at
They're
themselves.
talking to themselves.
They're talking to
And
themselves
I feel
for
bad.
2 years.
No, you know what?
Do you
There
feel
are
bad though?
I do.
Okay.
Because I'm not the type. I'm very like humble.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I wanna. I feel like everybody comes to me as friends and their intentions are pure because I grew up surrounded by men.
Right.
So not all of these men are trying to bang me.
So
Right.
that's my other thing. Cause see, me, Leslie, that's why like I call her my left nut is the opposite.
Yeah.
I have a lot of female friends.
Right.
And a lot of female friends that I have, like honestly, I'm not attracted to them on a sexual note. People are like bullshit. I'm like honestly, it's the truth.
You
like,
totally can't. You don't have to be,
No.
and that's the
like,
crazy
I
thing.
have, I tell you the truth. Like I said all the time, I have some friends that are more family to me than my own family are.
Same.
Like blood
Right.
family.
Facts.
And it's like for example, like sometimes people misunderstand. Like okay, like me and Kyla Bella, like people probably be out there like, oh, George's probably banging both of them. You know what I'm saying?
Well, people
But
are ignorant.
But no, people are. But I'm just saying. But
Yeah.
people think like that. Like
Right.
you know what I'm saying? But I don't see them like that. Like it's business.
He's
Like
not.
you know what I'm saying? Not.
Yeah, but
people,
it's-
but that's how it is though. Like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
It's true.
Perception.
Well,
like,
when
you know
I
what I'm
first
saying?
met, okay, so me and George have known each other since diapers. Like before
Literally.
we could even speak, we were friends.
Yeah, 100%.
And when he
Right,
met
yeah.
his girlfriend now, Cassandra, she was just kind of. First of all, I was like sweaty 3. I was skinny as fuck, so I would wear a lot of risque outfits.
Tits will be out, basically.
Real
a lot of
talk.
things. I was
Real
skinny
talk.
and fit, and I looked like I worked out, and I didn't. But
I
she
can't stand
was
her.
always questioning it
Yeah.
until one day she asked his mom,
Yeah.
and she's like, "What is the deal with Leslie and George?" And his mom legit grabbed a photo album, and was like, "Look, they've known each other since they've been
Yeah.
snot nosed, and from that day on,
Yeah.
she's just like, she's like, I love you."
Like honestly,
Like,
I'm sorry.
No,
the
go ahead.
relationship was,
Yeah, it's-
we
it's-
created a great
Yeah,
relationship.
no, it's
Sure.
crazy because like it took a lot for my girl. I remember a lot because like I said, I have way too many female friends.
Yeah.
A lot of them. So like what happened
And
was
Cassandra don't play.
Does
She
she know?
don't play.
But the thing is where her for her it was hard to understand how I grew up with like the same like circle.
Right, like
Mhm.
so
Like
way
from
that
kin- yeah, like from,
Shadi,
like, kindergarten,
Neymar.
Like my
The
friends that I have now.
names.
Well, they're friends. They're not.
I know.
But
don't have to
I
call
know.
them
my
friends.
friends
Yeah, no, I-
have been my friends like more than 20 years
Right.
to this day. You know what I'm saying? Like she said, I've been blessed to have a good circle of friends,
Mhm.
and it's been more than 20 plus years. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like I went to Kent, we was playing in the sandbox together.
Right.
So at the same time, like for me, when I told her like, listen, these are my best friends, it's gonna seem weird. And when I introduced her to like Kriti and Dani, like you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, like my best friends,
Mhm.
she's like, oh no, you fucked them. Like, she's literally, I remember we went bowling. No, she'll tell you the story. We went bowling, and I was like, listen, these are like these are like my homies, my road dogs. Like, you know, anything I need.
Right.
You know, and then as we started dating and like things happen in life, you know, like I used to call my friend Kriti, like Kriti, like I always said, like she, you know, I tell her like the day I get married, she's gonna be on my side.
Right,
you know?
right.
Yeah, the side with a little
I love it.
I would say,
Oh my God.
Like her tits out, you know what I mean?
Gotcha. You gotta get her.
So mad.
Yeah, she's
You
gonna
know,
wear.
homemade,
I'm gonna have her wear a suit
gotta
like
get
the black and whites.
I love it. I love it.
Like the view. I already got it. I told her. She's like, "Yo, you're stupid," but it's funny. I would wear that.
Yeah, she does.
That's awesome.
She can pull it
But
out.
it's one of those things, you know, where I introduced them to my girl, and she was like, "Oh no, you fucked them." And I'm like, "No, they just my road dogs." Like, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, after we started like dating and stuff, I remember my car broke down. I called Preeti. Hey, I'm with my kids and my girl. My car broke down. Don't worry, I'll be right there. Boom. Showed
Right.
up.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
you know
just
what I'm
how.
saying?
Yeah. That's just
So
how
you
it works.
See, like, little, like, okay, like that's unique. Like that's your home.
Yeah.
And
Like,
here's
that's my road dog.
Here's
you
the
know?
difference is that when we, like for me and George, if I post a picture of me and George,
Yeah.
it's not like
But there's
I
nothing
love
to.
him.
Right.
Like, it's like
Right.
my bestie.
It's my best friend. It's my this. I also think like how you're packaging that photo when you're posting it is also a way to, you can either respect your relationship or disrespect your relationship depending on what that caption is
Right.
at the bottom. And it's definitely, I've witnessed it, I've experienced it, and it's not fun.
No.
It's just like, you know, like, yeah, that's great, that's your best friend, but at the same time it's like, why are you doting on them so hard? And here I am fully in a full-blown relationship with you, and I can't, or even had like, I had this this one, I hate using the term partner. I'm just like, I had a girlfriend back in the day, and I would post whatever it was that we were doing, and she'd be like, I really wish you wouldn't do that. You don't pay my bills. Why are you telling me?
What is the issue?
Exactly. Like, you don't pay my bills. You can't tell me what to do. And I didn't do anything that was disrespectful to you or disrespectful to our relationship. I was just
Right.
expressing and happy that, hey, I'm here with
We
you.
went
Let's
on a
be
bike ride.
like, and she's like, I really wish you wouldn't post that.
And that's the thing. That's when I feel like people have something to hide.
Well, it was also, not only was it a same-sex relationship, but it was also a multiracial relationship.
Right.
So,
I
and
get
also someone who was from the South. So I can also imagine that their parents weren't the happiest with them dating me.
Right, but at
It's
that
like
point-
it's a 1-2 punch. It's like, oh my gosh, she's gay
But
and
if
she's
you're-
black.
if
Like,
you're a
oh,
grown-
fucking
if
great.
you're a grown woman, I get that there's going to be a lot of backlash, whatever. Even in
Sure.
same-sex relationships, people will look at you cross-eyed if you're dating somebody of the different color. Like, even the stigma of Spanish men and black men is there's still, like,
Yeah.
there's still tension there. Like, Spanish
black-
people are, like, for instance, my dad would be like, oh, I didn't want you to date a black guy. And I don't,
Y'all are black too.
He's black too. He's black like this.
That's what
right?
kills
Like,
me. Oh my
but
gosh.
this is back in the day because
Right.
what happens is the only time that our race is Spanish, black, the only time we get attention is when we do something bad.
Right.
So here's
You're not
there's
wrong.
that.
Yeah.
So you know, just the black people probably like don't date those Spanish people because they're
This, that, and the other.
it's
From
the
all the-
same thing.
Haters.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like, I'm sorry. Okay, but I just feel like one of those things where like a lot of like the racism and like the negativity, like okay, like the same sex things, come by the parents. Like for example, you can put two kids together right now, no matter what color they are, they can be
They're
Asian,
gonna play.
Spanish, black, they're gonna play together.
Right.
It's
They don't
what
know.
you teach them at home. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, oh, stay away from Johnny. He's Chinese. You know what I'm saying?
I'll stay with him. Cheat off of his exams.
You know,
Stop
I'm
that.
kidding.
I know.
They're smart. I want a smart baby.
You're ridiculous.
You know what I mean? Like, stay away from little Jorge. He's,
Yeah.
you know? Like, you know,
My mom said that to me a couple times.
It's all good, believe it. So, hi, Mom. But, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, but it's what it starts at home.
Right.
You know, and a lot of people
A lot of
forget
it stems
that.
at
A lot of
home.
people forget that. It's not what, you know, and like TV has changed too. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like before the stuff that you didn't see, like even like with same-sex relationships, I never saw it before when I was growing up.
No.
And now
Sure
they put
didn't.
Disney like, oh, they have two moms, they have two dads.
Yeah.
Like, oh, like time has changed.
And that's
Yeah,
okay.
Which is okay.
It's
100%
absolutely okay.
You know, but at the same time, like, you know, it all starts at home and what you fill your kids in. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember before when I was growing up, you know, like the same sex stuff, it was like, it's el diablo.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
right,
Está la
that's
Biblia.
not- yeah.
Está la Biblia.
It's
Like,
the same
like,
thing
relax,
in the.
relax.
It's also
Relax,
it's
relax.
also the same thing in the black community too. I think it's just the stigma that everyone's. You're afraid of what you don't know.
Exactly. 100%.
That's all it is.
And then it's like I always feel like I just feel like our generation is like, for example, like I love how it's in between. Like I'm old school, but I knew how to adjust with the new like school rules. You know,
Right,
and how
right,
things
right.
flew. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I
They
have
call them
five.
xenials.
We have no choice
Resenials.
but to like be accustomed to the
Well,
change.
yeah, because like I feel like we're that generation where technology changed a lot of stuff too. Like, you know, we were the ones with the first computers, and now we have like touchscreen computers. You know what I mean?
Right.
Our
So we went
phones
from-
are
yeah,
computers.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
we don't have a
Nowadays,
camera
yeah.
phone
Right.
anymore. We have a phone.
Right.
Like kids, the same thing. You're like,
Supposed to come with a
Right.
my
camera.
3-year-old can go through like,
The
how do
like
you go?
phone.
Like, dude, how'd you do that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how
Like when I first got this, I had to read the manual
I remember.
and the little
She
manual.
always got the newest phones all the time. Remember that like weird phone that you got?
Let's rewind.
Sorry.
It's
okay.
it's not that episode.
Yeah,
It's not that
that's what I'm
episode.
saying,
That's another episode.
But yeah, so
Did you want to?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought you wanted to say something. No, it's social media is weird.
it is. It's pros
But
and
it's
cons.
also,
It's
you know what?
also-
Yeah.
It's pros
It
and cons.
is.
It's good. It's bad. I also feel like social media ruined a lot of things, and what I mean by that is like also.
Intimacy. It's
Well, that too.
intimacy,
That-
sexuality.
Everything. It ruined a lot of things.
It,
also
it
made things
generalized
better.
a lot of shit.
Definitely. For me, it's just I don't know, just because like I'm an asshole and I don't really care about certain things.
He loves me. He's not.
Nah, I know, but I'm just saying like I don't like me personally like I don't really care what people think.
Mhm.
Like I don't give a fuck. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like even
because
you
you've grown.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
but my thing
why.
is like I'm really to a point where like it can be family sometimes. Like you know, you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
really don't. Like oh so and so like yeah I don't
Don't
give a
care.
fuck.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
Not
saying?
my
But
problem.
it's just
And there's
it's just-
nothing wrong with that.
100%.
Absolutely.
So it's like, but at the same time, social media has ruined it for a lot of people. It gave a lot of people that didn't have a voice back in the day, like the one that didn't talk shit to you. Like you'd be like, you know, like Trina, your sweater's like stupid, like you know, face to face. You punch them in the face,
Yeah.
and they won't talk about it anymore.
Oh,
Right.
But now that person can go in online. Oh,
Can
you know,
hide.
like Trina,
He's
everything
tough
you're
behind his
wearing.
fingers.
Yeah, now you know
Yeah.
everybody's a tough guy.
Everybody's-
behind the
yeah.
computer. Everybody's a bully. Everybody's a cyber bully. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
they gave a voice to the people that didn't have a voice that would never talk before.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Spoken to.
Right.
Yeah, or spoken to, like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, that don't know how to fight. You know what I mean?
Right,
That don't know how to
Right.
fight.
Like man, when I see you,
You know,
I know where you live.
like, sometimes, like, how you were saying earlier, like sometimes I want to get into people's conversations because people are so ignorant sometimes. And
It's
it's
terrible.
like I see,
Yeah.
like,
I've like deleted people.
No,
I've
it's-
blocked people for. I don't need that ignorance on my
no,
timeline.
definitely. Like, I seen conversations on Facebook where, like, you know how, like, they do, like, Chelsea What's Happening?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, you know, like, the whatever town you're from. So,
Right.
like, I seen one in Chelsea What's Happening where it went from, no, it's true. It went from talking
scared.
about, no, it's true. They were talking about like a junkie, crackhead, whatever. And they're like, don't say that. Like, that's bad when you call them crackheads. I'm like, well, I don't know what else to call them. Like, this is how, you know what I mean?
Right,
They already are,
right.
like,
This
they
is how
should.
we
Right,
grew
this
up.
is
Yeah, like,
like,
that's
what
that's
it
what I
is.
know them as.
it's
Yeah.
sad
You
that
know?
it's sad that the whole when we were younger, it was always the old folks because
Yeah.
that was when the drug epidemic hit was like in
Yeah.
the 70s and the 80s,
Yeah,
right?
it's huge.
And then it re-hit
Yeah.
to our generation, and then
Yeah.
to see like the damage it does to our friends and our family, it's
Yeah.
really sad. And that's probably why they said don't call them that because they probably readily identify
Well-
with somebody really close to them.
Definitely,
Right.
but like at the same time, like this generation is very soft.
Mm.
And very soft. What I mean by that is before
They're
growing up,
protected. A lot of people are.
100%
You have
on
to
everything.
be careful of what you say, how
Yeah.
you say it, where you say
so
it.
what I mean by that, and I usually limit it like this, not to get into a whole bunch of shit. I put like this: before there was winners and losers when you played baseball, basketball, whatever games you played. There was first place and second place, and that's it. Everybody else didn't get shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I
Now
always
you.
got a little chain, a
So
little.
no, I didn't.
No,
I don't know
you
what place
lost.
you
You,
came in.
right.
I think I always would. That's
So, you always won, bitch.
Sorry, I'm good.
You know, but the other thing too is that now you get like participating trophies. Thanks for participating. I remember I went.
You
to
know
one of my-
why?
Thanks for
Because
showing up.
no. Do you know why? And I'm gonna tell you why. Because you have to pay $100 for your kid to sign up. They better go to something for them when they're finished.
No, I hear
No,
you.
But for
that's
his
that's
jersey-
real.
But you're teaching the kids wrong. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
No,
I know.
Bobby, I paid for that trophy. You didn't earn it, baby. I
But
paid for
to
it.
but to rewind
Yeah.
and get back to the topic at hand, I
Sorry.
think with how this is all affecting how we react in relationships based off what happens in our home. We take that into these relationships. So it literally, like, when you go into a relationship with someone, you're like, all of this stems from either your mama or your daddy, like
Right.
one or the other, or collaborate, or both, or your grandma or your uncle or somebody that helped and had a hand in raising you. This is why you're bringing this issue into this situation. So
I never got no medal from any relationship.
Cool question though. I got a question.
tell.
So when you like, since you have social media and you go into a relationship, so like, do you guys? I don't know females, but like, if you had previous relationships and you know, like you like, oh, me and Kyla, like, you know, like 5 years ago, whatever, and you go ahead,
Delete.
and, like, go back and delete.
Delete.
You know,
We talked
Oh.
about that today.
Yeah, delete,
You're getting deleted.
delete it.
yeah.
So
Okay.
here-
Why we
here's
need?
the
Why?
question.
But why?
I have-
But why do we need to keep that? Why
No,
do
I
I
just
need
don't know,
to?
like-
No, it's okay. It's a valid.
Because like I usually have like 5,000 posts and I ain't trying to go.
It's
back
a
to
it's a
12,000.
valid. It's a valid question.
Here's
I'm just lazy.
With
No,
my
go ahead.
Facebook and even my Instagram, there has been pictures that I posted with my son's dad that I never deleted. But I haven't. I went
That's
back
different.
and like no, it's the same thing. You an ex, you an ex. You don't gotta be posted with my kid. Nothing. Nobody needs to know that you're a good dad, but me and my kid. That's it.
You're cold
And
size.
he's a good dad. But like to have pictures of him, us together, it's not
different.
worth it. But I've never gone back and done it because I don't have the time. Why am I investing more time in trying to erase you? I'm done.
Yeah, I hate
Like, I'm sorry that I forgot to delete the picture from 2014 when we were,
Yeah.
you know, like, and even
True.
it's your timeline.
No, it's true.
I met somebody who told me there's nothing that you should erase about your previous partners because they all develop who you are today, which is true because it goes as simple for me as washing the sink after I'm done cleaning the dishes that I learned from a partner that I will never forget. And it's clutch for me now because when I clean the dishes and I wash the sink, I feel good.
I dig
That
it.
little. Do
Yeah,
you know what
I
I'm
hear you. I
saying?
hear you.
I understand that, but I think on the flip side of that too, I don't want the reminder of what was there
Yeah,
that I had in my head that I thought we were gonna be, and here's a reminder of what we had that we no longer have.
Right.
I don't want that. And it depends too. I think it also depends on the kind of relationship you had with that person, how it affected you, how you grew from that. To some degree, I understand sometimes keeping it kind of is what it is. I
Right.
feel like if it ends
No,
in
I mean,
such
now
a
I'm gonna go back and delete it because now I'm like, fuck, it's there. I remember.
But
like,
yeah, but no, and I also
most
think,
part,
but I
don't
also think
care.
it's a little different. It's a little different. It might also be a little different because of the fact that you do those hetero relationships, and it's one of those things like you just don't care. Whereas on the flip side of it, where I'm at, it's like I don't know that I want to keep these up there, or like yeah, these memories were great, and I can always archive them and bring them back whenever I want to. It's my page. I can do whatever the hell I want with it.
But even if I was dating a woman, which I have dated in the past,
Hi, I've dated men.
right?
Weird, I know.
I think it's just who you are as a person and how you want to
Sure.
deal with your past. It
Yeah.
shows up. It sucks. You're like, really, Facebook?
Like
Fuck
I
you.
don't need.
You know,
Yeah,
the
I don't.
doubles you sent to me this morning. Like,
Right, real talk.
It was the alarm, now the memory. God
Right.
damn
I
it.
know, right?
Not only do I not want to get out of bed, but you
1,
just
2,
reminded
bang.
me.
So I'm gonna start the day.
Are you guys like the types to share like passwords to your accounts or no?
No,
I
absolutely
but
not.
If someone asks for it, you'd be like,
No.
I'd be like,
No.
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 You know what? It comes to a point where I
My
have,
mama ain't getting my password. I'm
One of my
sorry.
best
No.
actually has both. She shares a password with her boyfriend of umpteen
Wait, who is
years.
No, we're not dropping names.
No, I didn't drop names.
Oh,
on
no,
purpose.
no.
No, don't do that. No,
But here's
no.
the thing: neither him nor her have anything to hide. Like zero. And George knows exactly what I'm talking about.
But that's
There's
great.
nothing
But
to
at the
hide.
same time,
But I
no.
wouldn't give it up.
Yeah, no.
Only because
Are they married?
one of the partners didn't have social media, so she would go on and see her friends, her family, and
Life is great.
I'm like, here's, I made you one.
But how
Right.
solid is that relationship, though? I wouldn't want to do that for purposes of what if somebody 10 years ago is like, oh, hey, how you doing, what you doing tonight? And it comes off totally wrong to your man or your girl. That
Right.
if even if it was from 10 years ago, because you've always had that open relationship with this person when you're single.
Right.
So that can come off bad. But those two people, they have different pasts where they weren't as risque as I
Again,
was.
I got way too many holes in my
Yeah.
closet. So fast.
I got
I got
hoes.
Yeah, I gotta block them.
I got hoes.
I don't need that in my life.
In
No.
different
No, no.
area.
She's
Goes
really singing this right
hoes.
now. She's really singing.
Area.
She is. We're gonna wrap this up because it's been an hour, and we're gonna.
I'm still laughing at myself.
Yes, I am.
The song?
Yes, we all know the song, Luda. So, but basically what we're going to do is we're going to put this out there and we're going to have y'all send us questions and any comments that you have on this so that we can bring it to the second part of this relationship thing because it's going to be a two-parter.
It is.
Like, because there's a lot more to talk about. I got a whole list.
She definitely has
right here. It's a list.
And I read
For those that are watching. It's a
Well, I
whole
was getting
list.
tattoo laser removal today.
Yeah, we'll talk
which
about that.
Is another segment.
That's another segment.
But before we go, I want to let you guys know you got to tune in to the Middle Radio Show every Monday.
Promo. Let them know
7
your
to
let them know
9.
your Instagrams and stuff so we can tell so they can follow you on the Instagrams.
So, yeah.
You're all so
exactly,
hood.
I know. Every Monday, 7 to 9, DIMELO Radio, Facebook, subscribe. Subscribe to YouTube and Instagram. Follow us at DIMELO Radio. Like I said, we're happy to have you guys as part of the family. It's a dope show. I love it.
We'll share y'all's information on our
Yeah,
page
same
too
thing.
for sure.
We appreciate
Nothing
it.
but
For
love.
sure.
You guys want a podcast?
I got nothing but love for you, baby. What you got?
Another
Now-
song. She's playing bangers today.
I can't. Just so many things. You want to remind the people your Instagrams?
My Instagram is private.
Is it?
It is.
Yeah, it is.
I'll make it public.
Public.
Gotta go public. I do. I'll do
Public.
public. I got like 35.
Gotta let the haters see what they gotta see.
I mean, just let them see what they gotta say. But that's right.
I do it for me, for my friends, for
Tell
my
them.
family.
Tell them what the.
So my Instagram name is @LelieLez. It's Leslie LELIELEZ.
And thanks.
And thanks.
And
you
mine-
Can do the Facebook.com/that same thing LELIELEZ.
And oh my gosh, you guys. That's all right. And my Instagram is because I'm Katrina. Not spelling that out.
BEC.
no.
I'm kidding. I'm
Wow,
fucking
it was
with you.
really loud. I'm so glad I'm not the loud one this week. We switch it up.
Pinot Noir.
I can't with you. But thanks y'all for joining us. Thank you for
having us.
of course. And
Dose, we love
Weekly
you guys.
Dose. Oh, and our Instagram is @TheWeeklyDose because we have that too.
DOS.
Yeah, don't put an E on that because that's not us.
It's
But
annoying.
we'll see you on the next episode.
And if you have any questions, comments, compliments, you can always DM us or topics that you want us to talk about for our segment. We're down to do that.
Oh
It sure
snap!
does. No, it doesn't. I'm kidding. It doesn't.
Bye y'all.